nice. I think they're warning me there's some terrible boss here. But we just fought a boss. Not 3 pulls ago. So I don't know if I should be scared, really. Why is it so dark? Because it's night? Not having lanterns sucks. Will you turn on your lantern? Oops. No. There, fucking finally. Could have done that while I was fighting him. I just didn't know. I bought a book today. Or what? I got my book today. Harper Lee, Go Set a Watchman. That's what I'm going to do when I go to bed, which is soon. Read a book. Last time I read a book was Great Expectations back in 2023, I think, something like that. It's been a little while. No, I read a whole book, a whole collection of Kurt Vonnegut, 2024. Did I get it? Oh, I guess I must have. Okay, autopilot. Oh, I'm just out on the road. Okay, so these all connect in that triangular thing, and there was a boss inside. I killed the boss. I think I'm fairly encumbered now, actually, with something that I needed to address. Yeah, so... I think this is normally where I would hearth home, because both me and my main pawn are full. I don't want to put stuff on these other pawns because they'll just disappear and take the stuff with them, I think. Or no, maybe, I don't know. Does the stuff that you give pawns... This was an easy level 4. It was like 5 mobs. 10 mobs, something. It was just over. Wish I knew where my pick... there it is. I need my toothpick. The sun-dried tomato seeds in my mouth, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dragon's Dogma 2. If I switch to a different pawn, what happens to the items on the pawn that I had? So no, the pawns are actually safe storage. Is it a good idea to steal the clothes off the pawns before you dismiss them? I hate the buttons. It is a console game and it bothers me. I wish I could, Oh, that's much better. Never mind. That's much better than I thought it was. Ring of Exaltation, but oh, that I don't have it equipped? Oh, okay. And an Eternal Fairy Stone. So yeah, there, and then so we can just like Hearthstone back. They gave us a Hearthstone. That is a seriously good. They are much better. I'm much lighter now. It's nighttime. There's no reason to go out here at night, although I don't really mind pushing forward. We're kind of hurt. My tank is fucked up, so let's try the Fairy Stone. I mean, that was something I wanted to do today, was try one of their changes, and Yeah, the Fairy Stone is one of their good changes, I guess. Let's do the Eternal Fairy Stone. Use Vernworth. Cool, they give you Hearthstone, which makes the game much better for me. Use a Fairy Stone. I got an achievement. Cool, and I'm here. I can just go to the inn. Yeah, I can. I can just go to the inn. Yay, go to the inn and sleep. I don't know where it is. What's that? Oh, that's the Port Stone, yeah. It's an exploration game in a style that I don't really like that much, because it's not something I usually pay attention to, this sort of game. Yeah, are you the innkeeper? Can I book an inn? Yeah, I want to rest. Organize storage. Deposit. I don't care about this stuff. No! No! Oh, you fucking assholes. I hate your PlayStation UI. You could have done better than this. I'll just do it a page at a time. How do you actually do... Oh, confirm. I see. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Oh, damn it. Now that I know, it's a little bit better. No, keep that. Yeah, better, and just keep dumping items as if they matter. I don't think they do. Something about some RPGs, their items just turn me off. I'm like, why? Why would you bother? The items couldn't possibly give you anything, really, that would make the game better necessarily, except a Hearthstone, really. So, on you, you're good. You dropped everything. You dropped everything. You... I wish you would give me a select all. It's really inefficient. Little things, developer. Little things you could do to make our lives better that you don't do. I don't know why the Japanese developer would understand what I'm saying. But still, it's like, you know, this stuff, it's like, you know, not that hard to avoid. And lady who has nothing. So, yeah, we're all low on weight now. Oh, yeah, this bow. Oh, I can just, yeah. And then I can just click it. I didn't know that. Well, shit. Okay, so... Okay, guns are in order and have been modded. Everything on the bar is good. We've got 3 powder rifles ready to fire that I'm constantly just reloading or whatever. So I can one-shot 3 things in a row. And then just reload for the next, you know, 90 seconds or whatever. Oh, did you go home? No. Just go home.
more embarrassing than expected for reasons you couldn't have predicted. Oliver Tree's unexpected death has people heartbroken. The shocking new FIFA Israel-Palestine controversy has people pissed. And I am giving $1 million away. We're talking about all of that and even more on today's brand new Philip DeFranco show. You daily dive into the news, so buckle up, hit that like button, and let's just jump into it. Starting with this. I'm giving $1 million away. I can finally announce this. I'm gonna have more details coming soon. I want to give 40 people 25 bombers. Scream!
Just get me back for some reason.
Let's talk some news. Last night, professional fighters walked out of the Oval Office down a red carpet into a cage on the White House South Lawn, while military bombers screamed overhead.
President Camacho went full president. He's gone full President Camacho.
The Marine band played and Joe Rogan put on maybe a child's tie and called the action. He's already a little dude. Why was the tie even smaller? Yeah, that was a setup to supposedly help celebrate America's 250th birthday, though it really seemed to be more about Trump's 80th birthday. And as far as the crowd, he had over 4,000 people, including J.D. Vance, much of Trump's cabinet, Mike Johnson, as well as Mark Zuckerberg and David Ellison, who's Paramount Plus, actually streamed the event. And the crowd, I mean, they got entertained with knockout after knockout and ads for everything from Budweiser to crypto. And actually, it almost didn't happen because a watchdog group called the Public Integrity Project, they sued to block it. Where they filed on behalf of 2 locals who said that they frequent this area. They were offended by a cage match going up next to the national monuments. They called the setup hideous, grotesque, disgusting, and they argued that the whole thing was corrupt, right? Arguing that it's a for-profit spectacle benefiting Trump's allies like UFC boss Dana White and David Ellison. But a judge tossed that case on the grounds that they really hadn't shown standing or any irreparable harm. But then also there was threat number 2, the weather, where the Weather Channel was warning about a 60% chance of thunderstorms and wind gusts of up to 35 miles per hour on the South Lawn. The event even got pushed by an hour. But the West Wing's rapid response account, they apparently took offense and they fired back at the Weather Channel, writing on Twitter, "This event is about celebrating America's unmatched greatness after 250 years, which apparently doesn't sit well with a friendless loser who wrote this bullshit clickbait headline." Then also that reaction and controversy, it was nothing compared to the other 2 big things of the night. But with the first centering around Daniel Cormier, who's, if you don't know, is a UFC Hall of Famer. He's one of the night's commentators alongside Rogan, and he's the man whose Twitter account posted something that just blew up on the internet. With the tweet reading, "I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for bringing this to light. However, I refuse to stay silent. I will not tolerate this type of insider behavior. Shame on anyone trying to ruin this beautiful event." And with that, there was a screenshot of a text exchange that appeared to be between Cormier and Eric Trump. And in it, it looks like the president's son opened.
He's tried to buy the dive.
With anything you can tell me about the fighters, who you got winning. Cormier appears dodged. Then it looks like Eric, gets a little more direct, saying, "You placing any bets?" You get another dodge. And you see the question, "Are any of the fighters injured that you know of?" To which Cormier appears to answer in this screenshot, "I'm not quite sure why you're asking me this, but I think they're all in good shape." With a text that's allegedly from Eric reading, "I'll just cut to the chase. Are any of the fights tomorrow rigged? I've been eyeing the Lopez fight, and I think an upset wouldn't be too unrealistic." With Cormier appearing to shut it down, saying, "No, none of our fights are rigged, and honestly, I am appalled that you would even ask me something like that." And so if that exchange is authentic, it would appear like the president's son's looking for insider info to bet on a fight, or which would be extremely illegal. But then we see a number of things happen. You've got Eric Trump jumping on Twitter saying, "We are aware of the fake AI-generated screenshots being circulated online," claiming, "I have never spoken to Daniel." He has since deleted his post, which confirms it was clearly fabricated. And Cormier, who appeared to delete the post within minutes, seemed to back him up, writing, "Are people really this dumb?" To which Eric replied, "Thanks, Daniel." And he actually thanked Cormier again when there was video posted that showed Cormier saying really that he was hacked or something. And so for a lot lot of people, that was case closed, but then for a lot of other people, it just raised more questions. But initially, you had a lot of people saying the Cormier account didn't actually tweet this out, but you had multiple journalists saying they saw the post come from the actual account, not some impersonator. Also, before Cormier said that he was hacked, you had people going, okay, if this is AI, how did Cormier fall for a deep fake of himself saying something that he never said? But then also you had people saying, okay, well, let's say he did get hacked. How did he get control back fast enough to delete it in minutes? And you also had a number of people bothered by DC saying, why would I tweet that? Which a number of people took that this is fake, but if it was real, he would have just stayed silent. And so generally there, that was a mess, but that is not where the mess ended. Because while a lot of the fighters kind of throughout the night, fresh off the thrill of some win, they'd run over to the president and give him, you know, the kind of Hooters treatment, kneeling in front of him, shaking his hand. The one that's really popped off was when Josh Hokett gifted Trump a gold chain and then delivered this victory speech to Rogan.
I'm here with the winner, Josh Hokett. Josh, once again, you proved the doubters wrong, moved to 10-0.
Hey, shout out to Trump for having the balls to put some shit like this on. And if I'm gonna say anything, there's only one person more incredible than the Incredible Hulk, and that's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And lastly,
What are you talking about? The Incredible Hulk's not real. Jesus Christ is not real. Why are you invoking both of them, you fucking moron?
Michelle Obama is a man.
What?
Am I right, America?
What?
Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
Well, you saw a lot of MAGA kind of loving this, embracing this. There were also a lot of people that thought, that crossed the line, right? Even for a Trump event, a UFC event, and especially for America's 250th anniversary on the White House lawn. Like even everyone from Shane Gillis to Dana White to Dave Portnoy seemed to not be a fan. And actually had Portnoy of all people saying that Trump should denounce it. Oh, and then also I forgot about this because there was all the other stuff. There was drama last night about UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland, who made a big stink about supposedly being banned from the event on social media. Right? He claimed that a UFC official promised him entry, but then he said, I'd later got a call from the UFC saying I wasn't cleared by the White House. And as far as why, he said, I made fun of Israel and Epstein. And also for additional context, Strickland, he used to be a big Trump guy, but ever since Trump started bombing Iran, he's become a critic. And as far as Dana White, he actually denied the accusation.
Everybody's banned, apparently. Apparently, everybody is banned. Of course, Sean Strickland is. Sean Strickland is banned from humanity, okay? We don't want him near any human beings anywhere. Shows up at Power Slap, he starts fights, and he made it very clear that he didn't want to be a part of this event, and now apparently he's banned.
And while it doesn't look like he went to the main event, Strickland did sneak into the fan fest of the White House Ellipse where he jumped into this WWE ring and got kicked out by security. Them saying, the only male American champ banned at the White House because I said Trump is owned by Benjamin Netanyahu. That's not public opinion, it's fact. Right, but with all that said, one, I'd really love to know your thoughts on any of the controversies and just last night in general. And two, if anyone finds out which middle schooler Joe Rogan stole that clip-on tie from, please let us know. Also, and this is kind of connected
I mean, you want to talk about the Michelle Obama comments?
to where we need to go next. It was very interesting to see kind of the different kinds of celebrations we've seen recently. Because while there's definitely different levels to it, and it's not a one-to-one, it's hard not to look at this and then also look to New York. Because I guess, I don't know, if you've lived under a rock recently, you might not have seen the Knicks beat the San Antonio Spurs 94-90 in Game 5. They clinched their first championship title in over half a century. And fans, as many were expecting, went absolutely buck wild, though New York did not go full Gotham. Or even had Mayor Mamdani joining them at a bar to celebrate, and just general vibes have been immaculate. And actually just in general, it's been amazing to watch New York through the NBA playoffs, but also I think really since Mamdani got elected. But then now also where we're seeing a lot of energy is with the World Cup. But what you might not have known is while those matches they're playing out, FIFA is also working on an upcoming youth soccer tournament. And today we learned that the organization is reportedly wanting the opening match to be between Israel and Palestine, right? Because it's a youth tournament, the players are going to be under 15. They're going to be competing here in the States in September, and it's open to all 211 FIFA member associations, even Russia, right? Which is really notable because they're currently banned from FIFA competition since the Ukraine war. And while host city, it's not officially locked in, it's expected that it's going to be Miami, and while this series of games are only going to include boys teams, there will be a girls tournament next year. And as far as why open this with Israel and Palestine, you had sources telling The Athletic that FIFA wants the opening game to broker world peace. So this idea, it's obviously a controversial one, and Palestine's Football Association didn't give any comment on these plans, though Israel's did, and they told the outlet, our FA president will stick to what he said publicly several times at FIFA Congress and everywhere. We are more than ever willing to use football as an instrument to promote normalization and peace, and saying our hands are always extended for a better future for everyone. everyone, we hope to find a brave partner on the other side. One of the other notable things here is that this is actually not the first time that FIFA has tried to insert itself into what was happening there. Right in its annual Congress meeting back in April, you had the president of FIFA asking representatives from both Israel and Palestine to join together on stage. But as Palestine's rep approached, he stopped short of actually standing alongside the Israeli rep and instead only talked to the president. And while we can't hear exactly what was said, he definitely seemed upset and uninterested in any impromptu public peace moment. But afterwards, you still had the president of FIFA saying,
"We will work together, President Rajoub, Vice President Suleiman. Let's work together. Let's work together to give hope to the children. Let's work together for that. We have a beautiful under-15 tournament coming up where we will invite all 211 countries to participate, all the children of the world. Let's do it for that. Please, we work together. You have my commitment. You have the support of the whole room."
Right, but the Palestinian rep ended up walking off the stage after this and told Al Jazeera,
"He has the right to try to bring people together, but I think maybe he understands, but he does not know the deep suffering of the Palestinian people and the Palestinian sport family."
Right, and actually, as far as public reactions, I mean, people have expressed similar sentiments to what we just heard. Like at the FIFA, they just had a touch for suggesting this. Among other things, you have some noting that Israel's killed a number of Palestinian athletes, and others saying Palestinian youth should not be forced to play representatives of the state committing the genocide of their people. Others saying, do these fuck-ass people think a friendly football match between Palestine and Israel can erase the genocide and ethnic cleansing Palestinians are going through? Right, and arguing that there is a particular cruelty in making these kids do this. Right, and this is playing out amid other backlash with the World Cup. In Canada, protesters unveiled a massive banner calling for Israel to be kicked out of FIFA. Also, Iran, they're playing a game in Los Angeles today, and there have been protests ahead of that. Los Angeles, they have a very high population of Iranian Americans, and you had some gathering to stand against Iran's government to call for democracy in the country. With Al Jazeera explaining that some opposition activists view the football squad as an extension of the governing system in Tehran. So before the game, they're going to likely protest outside of the stadium as well. Though also I'll say there is kind of a split as some Iranian Americans just want to put politics aside for the game. But then also the war has created other contentious backdrops here. Iranian fans have had their tickets to US games revoked, and Iran's already under a travel ban as well. Right, with their players, they've been granted visas for the games, with Trump's World Cup czar recently calling this another example of the goodwill gesture to the team. Some still don't believe Iran's team and its fans have been treated fairly, with one civil rights lawyer saying that the restrictions that have been placed upon them run counter to the World Cup serving as an open global sporting event, saying, "I think it's disgraceful, unfortunate, and inappropriate. Sports bring people of all backgrounds and beliefs together." And there's more that we got to dive into in just a minute, but first, let me thank a sponsor and say, nothing spikes your anxiety faster than Googling a symptom and getting search results ranging from drink more water to you have 6 minutes left, which is why I stopped letting the internet be my primary physician. And honestly, it's one of the reasons I use today's sponsor, ZocDoc. Right, ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. And it was huge for me because, once I finally decide I should probably see a doctor, I need to book it immediately before my brain talks me out of it. There's no shortage of excuses in this thing. And with more than 150,000 providers across all 50 states and over 200 specialties, you can find primary care, dental, dermatology, eye care, whatever you need. Appointments happen fast. You can see real-time availability and book instantly, usually within 24 to 72 hours and sometimes even same day. You can also filter by insurance, location, in-person or video visits, and read verified patient reviews so you actually feel confident about who you're booking with. And yes, this is dramatically easier than calling 5 offices just to hear we're booked until October. So hey, stop putting off those doctor's appointments and scan that QR code or go to ZocDoc.com/Phil to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/Phil. This message is sponsored by ZocDoc. But then diving right back into the news, the US and Iran have announced a new preliminary deal to halt the fighting and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And while the details of this agreement, they haven't been made public yet, it does seem like Donald Trump has failed to achieve almost every single one of his goals in this war. Or the future of Iran's nuclear program, for example, that hasn't been decided yet. They're saying that issue has to be negotiated over the course of a new 60-day ceasefire that's set to begin after the signing of this framework agreement in Switzerland on Friday. And funny enough, when Trump announced that a deal had been reached yesterday, he didn't make any mention of that. Instead, you had him out there just trying to celebrate the possibility of a return to the pre-war status quo, writing, "I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines, let the oil flow." With him then claiming that many presidents had tried to make peace with Iran before him, but all had failed, and adding the leaders of the region have for the first time found a president who can help them achieve real peace. So yeah, okay, let's review. The US and Israel attacked Iran on February 28th, killing their supreme leader, numerous other high-ranking officials, and more than 100 school children. Trump and his team, they laid out several other consistently shifting and sometimes contradicting objectives and justifications for this war. And in addition to keeping Iran from ever having a nuclear weapon, which U.S. intelligence agencies had not found that Iran was actually pursuing. These included 1. Destroying Iran's military and especially ballistic missile capability, 2. Ending its support for regional proxy groups, and 3. Enabling the Iranian people to rise up and overthrow the regime. Trump initially claimed that the U.S. would accomplish those goals in 4 or 5 weeks. Actually, just 1 week after the strike started, he said that Iran's only path to a deal was unconditional surrender. But months later, U.S. intelligence showed that Iran retains significant missile capabilities, and we've seen no indication that the new deal includes restrictions. Iran's reportedly made it clear that it intends to keep building ballistic missiles, and they've reportedly made it clear that it will keep supporting its proxy forces as best it can, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Palestine, and the Houthis in Yemen. So as far as overthrowing the regime, while Trump has at times claimed otherwise, this is the same regime that killed thousands in brutal protest crackdowns earlier this year. In fact, the hardliners may have more power now. And there's also no sign that the deal includes any measures to keep them in check. And also, while you have Trump telling the New York Times that Iran will be unable to access sanctions relief and up to $25 billion in frozen funds if it kills protesters again, there's reportedly not a condition that appears anywhere in the current text of the agreement. Instead, the issues of sanction relief and frozen assets will be tied to whatever concessions that Iran's willing to make regarding its nuclear program during the upcoming talks. So just based off of what's out there right now, it's been described as the hardest things in this dispute to get both sides to agree on. The US and Iran haven't actually resolved those things. But none of that seems to have stopped Trump from trying to play it off like all that's left to do is dot the I's and cross the T's. In fact, even before officially announcing that a deal had been reached, a deal that again only paves the way for further negotiations, you had him taken to social media to argue that he had outdone former President Barack Obama. Or even Trump claiming that the nuclear deal reached under Obama in 2015 gave Iran an easy, beautiful, smooth road to a nuclear weapon. And he also claimed that if he had not ripped up that agreement, Iran not only would have already built, but used a nuclear weapon. A claim that just appears to have zero basis in reality, at least partly because that Obama deal, it was working. Right under the Obama agreement, Iran shipped 97% of its enriched uranium stockpile to Russia. They also complied with limits on enrichment set by the deal for the remainder of Obama's time in office all the way into Trump's first term. But then after Trump ripped up that deal, Iran began enriching uranium at its highest level ever, 60%, which is just shy of bomb grade. They eventually stockpiled enough to build 10 to 12 nuclear weapons, although it never did, and as far as we know, it never planned to. Right? It's now that stockpile that's one of the key sticking points that are going to have to be worked out. While Trump in that post claimed that the U.S. will, when all is calm, go into Iran and recover its highly enriched uranium stock, claiming that the nuclear deal reached under Obama in 2015 gave Iran an easy, beautiful, smooth road to a nuclear weapon. And he also claimed that if he had not ripped up that agreement, Iran not only would have already built, but used a nuclear weapon. A claim that just appears to have zero basis in reality, at least partly because that Obama deal, it was working. Right under the Obama agreement, Iran shipped 97% of its enriched uranium stockpile to Russia. They also complied with limits on enrichment set by the deal for the remainder of Obama's time in office all the way into Trump's first term. But then after Trump ripped up that deal, Iran began enriching uranium at its highest level ever, 60%, which is just shy of bomb grade. And they eventually stockpiled enough to build 10 to 12 nuclear weapons, although it never did, and as far as we know, it never planned to. Right? It's now that stockpile that's one of the key sticking points that are going to have to be worked out. While Trump in that post claimed that the U.S. will, when all is calm, go into Iran and recover its highly enriched uranium stockpile, there are reports that Iran's only agreed to give up half of its stockpile while diluting the other half to levels that would only have civilian purposes. Also the other big question is how long Iran will agree to suspend uranium enrichment in the country, with Trump telling the Times that he's pushing for a 20-year suspension on enrichment. We then also...
These fucking asshole, like, world leaders, they're, like, caught up on, like, half a fucking stockpile of uranium or something. They're such idiots that they just focus on, like, the, like, uranium like it's a moth to a light bulb. They focus on oil, scrapes, uranium and shit like it's a moth to a light bulb. They're completely myopic. They give away any tact, any kind of good price. They bungle all the deals. They piss off all their trade partners because they have this crazy, almost drug addict need for oil and fucking uranium. I hate them. I don't want them in control. I would kill them if I could. Just be honest. I'm not a homicidal man. I would view it as excising Mother Earth of the terrible right-wing cancer that afflicts her. As they go to war, drop more bombs, scar her tissue, Carmageddon up the fucking place, choke us all to death with their fucking air pollution. And it's just, you know, I don't know. I still love them. I don't value them. American leadership, don't value them. The game's repetitive. The combat got boring quick. After the spells don't impress you anymore, like, the combat got boring, frankly, even compared to a game like Avowed or something. And while it's visually impressive and it feels really cool, the game has not got my blood pressure up at all. And it's the kind of game I want to pick up and play like a little 2 or 3 hour campaign once in a while and eventually stumble through it. It's not a game I could actively play. It's fucking annoying. I think we're about to see a bunch of these too. Like, Outward 2 is coming.
Negotiated against himself, telling the Times that he might even settle for 15 years, which, just a little note, is the same length of time that Iran agreed to under the Obama deal. But that agreement only allowed enrichment up to 3.67%, and you have Trump insisting that the enrichment at any level is going to be suspended. Right, and then Trump also told the Times that Iran would be forever barred from enriching uranium to levels with military applications, though he would not specify the exact percentage, though that could be because he just does not personally know what that percentage is. And again, ultimately, all of this is going to depend on negotiations that haven't really even fully started yet. And that's also why you had one former American ambassador to Israel writing on social media, as for the nuclear issues, there really is no agreement. It is possible that no deal will ever be reached, and very likely that if one is reached, it will be worse than what we could have achieved through diplomacy before the war. And in general, you're seeing a lot of experts kind of just having doubts. One arguing the United States hasn't shown the patience necessary to complete a complicated nuclear deal that requires new monitoring and verification measures. So then also remember, it's not just the nuclear situation. Understandably, we're focusing a lot on that, but it's not just that. One of the other things that's popped up is that Trump has made claims about what Iran has agreed to that just may not be true. For example, in addition to getting traffic flowing through the Strait of Hormuz again, he said that Iran had agreed that the strait would be permanently toll-free. But you had Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson suggesting today that while Iran won't collect tolls on ships passing through the waterway, it could still charge fees in exchange for the services that are provided. So we're definitely gonna have to keep eyes on where that lands, but either way, fully reopening the strait, it may not happen immediately. But there are still mines that have to be cleared, oil production and refining facilities, they need to get up and running again, and it may take time before shipping companies are convinced that the strait's actually safe to get through. And actually, the head of one of these companies saying that it would take weeks or even months for him to feel comfortable sending ships into the Persian Gulf, saying there very well may still be uncertainties and unresolved issues that would drag this out even longer. But with all that said, and the doubt that's in the air here, the markets have reacted very positively to the news. The price of Brent crude fell nearly 5% to around $83 a barrel, which is way down from its $126 peak, though it is still a decent amount up from the pre-war price of $73. And then actually with that, as far as the gas prices in the States, they're still up roughly 37% from the beginning of the war on average. And, you know, as we've seen, the prices could shoot back up if anything turns south here. And actually, one of the reasons that could still happen, and what we should talk about, is Israel's continued occupation and attacks in Lebanon. In fact, Israel, they reportedly almost blew up the deal even before it was announced by once again bombing the southern suburbs of Beirut. You even had Trump writing on social media that the attack should not have happened when a deal was so close, and warning that there should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon and no more attacks against Israel by Hezbollah. And now that this preliminary deal has been reached, while Iran, they've claimed it includes an immediate end to military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon, Trump himself hasn't publicly commented on whether the sea.
It's crazy. Like, everybody's playing musical chairs. Like, America is Nazi Germany now. Russia is Japan in World War II. And Iran is, it's just weird. Like, everybody's got different roles they're playing now. And people that used to be heroes are now bullies, and bullies that used to be bullies are now heroes. And it's weird. It's just dumb. Sometimes I think it's not really benefiting me to pay attention to politics at all. All it does is rile up my blood. I don't think anything ever changes. I'm not in the... I'm not in the arena. I'm just some leftist with bad opinions. I don't know. And sometimes I think I should just stop doing politics completely.
Ceasefire extend.
I'm 50 years old. I can't even serve in their wars anymore. Great, it's another boss. I just bought a boss. Bosses in this game suck. It's visually impressive, and it is fun, but it's clunky and slow. I'm not enjoying it that much. It's repetitive. One thing, it's the same core abilities over and over. But honestly, I think the SO is actually got better combat than this. Which is weird because that's I like the chaos of it. These guys die fast for some reason. Got him. Kind of repetitive and boring, running the same 4 spells over and over again. I suppose that was RPGs are, though. I like burning the goblins in the tall grass, but I think we're in the next gen where they should have burned the grass. The grass should have burned, kind of like Genshin. There's things that are missing from the game for I feel like they went for overall beautiful graphics that makes the game always look really natural and good. It is a graphically beautiful game. It's clunky for a 2026 game. Her movement's clunky. That's quite beautiful. The waterfall with the bridge. I've got this chest before? I guess so. I'm up in the trees. I fell flat on my face, yeah.
To the fighting in Lebanon, and neither Israel nor Hezbollah, the sides that are actually fighting in Lebanon, had agreed to do anything with this agreement. So Israeli leaders, they made it very clear already that they do not see themselves as being bound by this deal, with Israel's defense minister saying in a statement this morning that he and Netanyahu opposed any Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon. So we're gonna have to wait to see what happens there, but ultimately, the decision to attack Iran, it's come at an undeniable cost of thousands of lives, including over a dozen Americans, and it's caused massive economic and humanitarian fallout around the globe. And it looks like very little has actually been gained from any of this. Iran, yes, they were militarily weakened, but not defeated, and it seems like, if anything, they've arguably significantly improved their negotiating position. There was always a threat of escalation, oh gosh, what's gonna happen with the United States, but they've effectively proved that they can turn off the Strait of Hormuz and stand up to the world's biggest military power. And then actually, speaking of different negotiating positions, that kind of works for a transition. SpaceX's share prices rose even more on its first full day of trading today. And so with that, making Elon Musk even more of a trillionaire. Because after making its official debut last Friday, SpaceX raised $75 billion at a valuation of $1.77 trillion, making it the single biggest initial public offering ever recorded. It's now even bigger, with shares rising another 6%
Dual fire.
in early trading this morning, and it pushed the valuation of the company to $2.2 trillion.
The game is really beautiful. I don't think I need to turn the shadows down. They look kind of crappy. Oh, are you logging? Don't log me.
So of course, this is a moving target. Trading still happening as I'm recording this, but it has cemented the company as one of the world's most valuable. And you had Elon Musk saying on Sunday that SpaceX could bring in $1 trillion in revenue by 2030. So he was supercharging Wall Street's optimism around this company that, it's everything from rockets to AI. But of course, a big thing is that's Elon Musk talking about 2030. And as far as now, SpaceX reported $18.7 billion in revenue in 2025, and they've yet to actually turn a profit. So one of the things that you're seeing is that there are a number of experts that have been and are increasingly skeptical about the company's historic valuation. In fact, even ahead of the IPO, an analysis by Morningstar found that the company was actually worth less than half of its $1.77 trillion IPO target, with analysts actually putting the figure closer to $780 billion, claiming that the tech giant was significantly overvalued. And yeah, there are a number of reasons to believe that figure is inflated. I mean, one thing is that SpaceX has made a very small portion of its shares available to the market, roughly 5%. And if you're not super into this space, you wouldn't know it. That is significantly lower than the roughly 10 to 20% that a company usually floats. And because it's such a small first release, you have analysts saying, hey, you should take all these massive big numbers with a grain of salt. Low supply could artificially inflate demand. Or as I saw places like Axios explain it, Kind of like if, say, the Girl Scouts made 1,000 boxes of Samoa cookies, but they put only 50 boxes up for sale. People would bid on the price of those delicious caramel, chocolate, and toasted coconut confections. But once more cookies hit the market, the price would likely fall. Or perhaps our willingness to spend big for these cookies forever keeps its price higher. That's also not the only red flag. IPO documents show that almost all of the market opportunity, like literally all but $2 trillion of the estimated $28.5 trillion, is based on the company's plans to expand its artificial intelligence development. The Washington Post, for example, explaining that the market opportunity rests on major, even far-fetched bets, including a constellation of millions of satellites for space-based data centers that will power AI from orbit, and the company will vastly expand its Starlink internet service. And then also adding, Starshield, SpaceX's secure satellite network for government, will be used for defense and national security applications. And the Post also noting that SpaceX has a recent track record of losing billions of dollars, including $13 billion since the beginning of 2023. Just last year, the company lost more than $4.9 billion because of increased expenditures on AI. But that gamble could also be paying off. They reported $18.7 billion in revenue last year, up 33% from the year before. With all that said, I think there are two things I'll say here. One, a lot of the investing around Elon Musk's companies are less about the companies themselves, and it seems to be more about their belief in just Elon Musk himself. Right? There's really never been a shortage of people saying that Elon Musk's companies are overvalued, that the numbers don't make sense, it makes the stock market look like it's based on vibes, and that it's a casino. At least historically, that's still worked out for Elon Musk. But then also, two, you have many wondering, okay, does this IPO kind of show us the path forward for other AI companies? Right? This IPO has been widely seen as a litmus test for Anthropic and OpenAI. Both of those companies are expected to go public later this year. So some are wondering, SpaceX's massive success on this front, has it cleared a path for them? Has it shown that there's a lot of demand for AI giants in this market? Though also with that, you're seeing experts saying, if these other AI companies have similar successful debuts, it totally upend the stock market as we know it. But hey, time will tell. But the next step, and the final thing we need to talk about today, it's sad news, and that is that American musician Oliver Tree is dead.
Oliver Tree. Cyclops one, nice. Oh, there was no great treasure on this thing, huh?
At 32. He was killed when the helicopter he was riding in collided with another helicopter over Rio de Janeiro on Sunday morning.
What?
6 people reportedly died in the crash. He was in the middle of the biggest tour of his life.
Really? Another musician dies in a plane crash, huh? I'm sure.
570 shows, 30 countries, all the continents. And at least as of right now, nobody knows why these 2
I
helicopters
didn't know this guy existed, but I do now.
ended up in the same place at the same time, where both helicopters really came down on top of a car dealership lot. One of them landed on a row of electric vehicles, which then set roughly 15 to 20 cars on fire. And according to Rio's military fire department, 5 of the victims were in one helicopter and the 6th was flying on their own. With the Brazilian authorities opening an investigation, and at this stage, there's really no public conclusions about what went wrong. And one of the things here is that you've probably already heard this news, right? In addition to being immensely popular and having his own fans, I mean, his top tracks have been streamed more than 700 million times combined. His Spotify page alone clocking in over 11 million monthly listeners. The outpouring of just grief and devastation from other high-profile people, it's been massive. And their comments, some of it was tied to his work, but also just who he was. People saying that in addition to him just being immensely talented, he was funny, generous, genuinely strange in a deliberate, art-driven way, a real one of one. And as far as what else we know right now, the other passengers in the helicopter included a Brazilian music producer, an Argentine video director, and a 23-year-old Argentine creator by the name of Gaspar Prim Diaz. And his audience actually knew him as Gaspy. He had more than 2.8 million subscribers on YouTube. His streaming channel Blender posted a tribute, calling him an artist with magic and sensitivity. And then as of right now, the pilot of the second helicopter hasn't been named yet. And unfortunately, all of this is yet another reminder that you never know what is around the corner. Love who you have while you have them. Let them know you love them. Live your life. Because while we don't know how or when, certainly we will leave this planet. We are, ideally, the relationships we have and the people we affect. And it is that somber note where we end today's show. Thank you for watching another daily dive into the news. Thank you for being a part of my life. I love yo faces, and I will see you right back here tomorrow.
After one small comment on a podcast, Peter Dinklage managed to piss off nearly every little person in Hollywood.
You, Peter Dinklage. Piece of shit.
Are you watching, Dinklage? Do you know that you took work away from me?
Peter became one of the most respected actors of his generation by refusing to let Hollywood reduce him to the stereotypical roles little people often get. But since he has reached the pinnacle of success in the industry, he may have forgotten just how many dwarf actors are still relying on those exact jobs to survive. Or maybe he is gatekeeping them to remain on top. Because what sounded like him standing up for his
Little people like to be actors, huh?
community actually may have resulted in Hollywood erasing little people from the screen entirely. It's so bad that it's being compared to by some little people as the quote physical version of blackface. As an aspiring actor with achondroplasia, Dinklage was determined to avoid low-hanging fruit opportunities that might have helped his career. He said, "I was in an office for quite some time, longer than I should have been, but I was terrified of not being able to pay the bills. I was turning down acting roles which weren't really acting roles, commercials and stuff like that, so I just stayed in this cubicle for a few years." Dinklage started out in a very common position that a lot of little people confront when aspiring to be actors. Most were traditionally cast for fantasy roles, which Dinklage found disgusting and cruel. Actors with dwarfism are relegated to being creatures. They're not really complex human beings, so I was not really interested in that. But ultimately, he knew his career wouldn't take off unless he made a few compromises. There were a number of films that he starred in where his dwarfism contributed to the role, but he wasn't being paraded around as a creature or prop. Instead, he was able to show more emotional depth.
Every fight is a fucking 10-minute boss fight. Oh, damn it. This might be longer. bombs don't act like they're even being hit. You're just spraying this thing at them. They don't really react. And I see like little things, little giveaways if they cut the corners. If the grass should have burned, damn, she full bombed us. What the fuck was that? Well, okay. I'm supposed to can't win them all, huh? For some reason, that particular boss was way harder than the other bosses.
With dwarfism just being a part of the character, like how he starred as a defeated actor in the dark meta comedy.
Wait, is my heater on? Yes, my heater is on. My door is open. I'm sorry, I will be right back. I don't understand why my heater is on. I'm sorry I left you out there. I thought you were inside. I'm sorry. I don't really keep track. You're alright. I'm sorry, kitty. I didn't mean to forget about you. I'm sorry. I'm just busy. It's 2 in the morning. I left your ass out there for like 5 hours. Well, you don't mind being in the dark, right? Nope. I'm done with this book. How's my weight? 175. Man, I'm doing everything I can to get around the weight problem. So annoying. There's too much, maybe something. Let's see. New. I have 2 levels. I need... It like DC me right there. I saved. I was gonna move on to some Fortnite here. Try and end on a win. Nothing left that we can get, huh? That one's a fairly good one to just dump. I should get towards capping strength because it gives you carry weight. Arms keeper. This put me at 170 out of 230. I'm carrying too many guns. These black powder rifles, they weigh 6 pounds a pop. This sledgehammer's heavy, it's 17 pounds. It's not worth carrying a 17-pound sledgehammer. I am spec'd into strength, but it's just not worth the weight. I will have to switch weapons here. Let's go look at what melee weapons I can make. $205K on Battle Royale, goddamn. Oh yeah, the ski sword. Oh yeah, the machete gives a bleed. The machete's really good. Guessing a bunch of them to just break it. Nothing. You're not going to give me any improvements, huh? Nothing at all. Maybe I already did this. You just can't improve machetes because of what, they have a bleed or what? Serrated blade. That's it though. I mean, the damage on it is good though. And it's much lighter than the sledgehammer. Oh, my fucking headphones died as this match started, and I have a thing. What's this? There it is. I have a thing. You know, crown, so I don't want to die. Vids here. There we go, that wasn't that bad. Okay, of course I have a bad start though. Well, maybe not bad, but definitely slow start. I should go way more inland. I don't really want to travel like I've been traveling. I don't know, it's a strategic game. If you want to fuck around in the sky for a while and run the timer, you can, like this. I think I'll land there because it's just center of the island, basically.
Living in Oblivion with Steve Buscemi. Buscemi recommended him for a role in Alexander Rockwell's comedy 13 Moons when Dinklage couldn't find an agent, and it was with this exposure that Dinklage was able to show who he really was. Rockwell openly talked about how his first impressions disappeared the second he got to know him. "You might come in with some luggage about Peter's physicality," Rockwell said. "Right away, he cuts right through that. You're thinking, he's a dwarf, he's a dwarf. But Peter comes shining through as a personality beyond any kind of diminutive size issue." And pretty much anyone who met Dinklage felt the same way. He was wonderfully articulate and insightful, and clearly wanted to be seen as more than just a dwarf actor.
Some of those things, they only appeal to white people. It's funny, the things that you're praising him for. Wonderfully articulate. I think white people value that. I don't know if, like, I think a lot of other people do too, but it's just, you know, but I don't know if that's the highest value thing anymore. It kind of used to be.
At the same time, he didn't want his size to be the focus of every conversation, but when he did speak about little people in Hollywood, his approach was usually thoughtful rather than confrontational. He wasn't publicly attacking others or aggressively calling out studios by name. He simply believed the industry should slowly move beyond using dwarves as simple fantasy characters or visual gimmicks and start giving them the same depth and complexity as any other performer.
Not dangerous, but they're kind of...
How many of these could there be? Like 20 to 50 or something? How many Hollywood actors are little people? Is it like 20 to 50 people? You're saying give those 20 to 50 people more work?
You know, they're
Sure, give them more work. Yes.
Creatures, they're ethereal beings, these dwarves usually are, and they're asexual, and they're either fools or they're very filled with wisdom. I know all the answers, but a bit removed. And, you know, they never get the princess. That's fine, but we're in the modern day now, and I think if we still have that, I don't want to throw words like stereotypes out in this interview. I want to avoid that, but
you're gonna put your foot in it because you were successful. So now you gotta like look down.
You know, it'll just perpetuate itself, and I see it in today's films and pieces of art. You know, I'm not interested in playing those things.
In that clip, you can feel his hesitance, like he was walking a fine line, because in the back of his mind, he knew that these stereotypical roles also do give little people consistent jobs in the industry, which is important for them to be able to take to then one day be able to advance their careers. But before we get into that, let's say you're about to jump on a roller coaster and you need someone to watch your wallet, so you hand it to a pickpocket. That's not security, that's a donation. There's a reason you wouldn't trust a pickpocket with your wallet, just like there's a reason.
Where did this guy go? I don't know. The bush almost makes me more conspicuous. Oh, there he is. Did he see me? I think he did. I think he left the engagement. Hi, kitty. You want to sit on my lap? Let's go join it. Is he real? I think he was real. That guy was real. I can't believe it was real. Alright. I hate that I have to ask if they're real. I don't think I should be playing bots. I think I used to want to play bots. I don't think I should want to play bots in Fortnite anymore. There's this point where if you've won 100 games, you shouldn't see bots anymore. Or something like that. I don't know. Two down, 19 up, top 20. I don't know. I think I like this one more. I think maybe that one, the striker does more damage though. I don't know. This is a good shotgun, it will do damage. I think I want to put the turret in my 3 slot and take this other assault rifle since I have enough ammo. Yeah, just see if I can looking around, check my 6. Nope. Ammo would be good. I'm going to use the shotgun. Oh, look. Ooh. Perfect. Oh no, it's used up. Yeah, I'll take that, but I don't know. The boots are used up. Oh, there's a car. I don't want the boots. I'll take the health potion. Production crate. Yep, and we'll take that. I think I'd like that big potion over the little ones. take your boots. Thank you. Is that good? Yeah, I think it's good. That one's out, right? Yeah, I think that one's out. Better make sure I'm overloading everything. He had ammo, but not much. Did I get all the ammo? Yeah, I think I did. So, 3 down, 7 up, getting in the top 10 again. Just close this. I'm done with this for tonight. I'm done with this too. Oh, no. Oops, that's fire. What did I throw? First spread. You have a chance to find additional rares when opening chests. Okay. Damn, I have all these potions now, huh? Does he have anything better? I don't know. Does this turret have life? I don't know. Tempted to take all the potions over these boots even, but I need mobility. Oh, thought I heard something. I've got all the ammo now. There was a truck, wasn't there? There was a truck somewhere back here. Go. Thank you. That sucked. Can I go back? Go back to where that was. Come on, come look for me. 4 left, 5 up. There he was. See him in the back window there. That guy just like ran from me to try to fight, really. I'm gonna take that till I have to reload, or I guess I might have to anyways. I don't know, do I want this over 2 potions? Let's see. Yes, I do. I think, yeah, that's a good combination of weapons, yeah. I saw gold over here, I think. I don't know, I think the turret's better, maybe, actually. Sounded like somebody was over here. Where did I see? What did I see? I saw gold weapons in the corner somewhere. Oh, it was this thing. It was this thing. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go. All right. Where did I go? 5 down, 2 up. It's heads up. Wish me luck. I should pull the turret. Yep, that's all. Why do I have that? Oh, because I need to pull the turret, but I can't.
I can't do anything! What? You locked me in the animation! You fucking cocksucker! Piece of shit! Developer! Suck my dick, piece of shit losers! You and your fucking combat animations! Locking up my controls for 5 whole seconds for no fucking reason. Let me out of it if I take a shot. What human being in the world is gonna hold on? I gotta keep messing with the turret while I take automatic weapons fire. But in piece of shit, idiot ass cocksucker, brain dead developer land, that's the norm. Oh well, I don't want to take the kid's fucking crown from him. Goddamn piece of shit, fucking moron, low IQ cocksucker developers. This is why your game's free. Fucking asshole. Fuck was this, man? I tried to pull the turret. Okay, he started shooting me. Let me jump. Nope, you locked up my controls and forced me to do a spinny thing for 5 seconds while you just hosed me. Why? Why, piece of shit? I'm never doing that again. God damn it. Why? Over what? Picking up the turret? Okay, let me interrupt picking up the turret. That's what would happen in real life. You went out of your way to make real life harder. It's fucking stupid. Why? It's picking something up. If I don't want to pick it up, then step away. You lock me in it. I get killed. I blame you. You're a piece of shit. Fucking low IQ. Fucking epic cocksucker.
Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting for the people for over 35 years, with over $30 billion recovered for their...
Oh, damn it, man. I did not go 20 minutes to lose to that guy because I tried to pick up a turret. Fight the developer, not the fucking players. Been saying it for 5 fucking years. I'm sick of fighting the fucking developer.
their clients, Morgan & Morgan knows a thing or two about fighting to get you the compensation you deserve. Hiring Morgan & Morgan is like hiring an army to go into battle. They've got more than 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide.
Hold on, let me quick time event this fucking turret so that I get shot to death in a second.
If you're injured
Less than a second.
by someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. But not all law firms are the same. Hire the wrong one and you may be beat before you even start. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, you can go to forthepeople.com/Patrick. In 2003, Dinklage would get a role as a train enthusiast named Finn McBride in Tom McCarthy's The Station Agent.
Hey, buddy, where's Snow White? Grumpy or sleepy over there, huh?
While having dwarfism was a central point of Peter Dinklage's character, he didn't mind because Finn had the depth he was looking for. The movie was pretty brilliant because it found a way to make you forget about his size until someone abusive confronted him with prejudice. You spent most of the hour and 30 minutes trying to figure out exactly how he felt. Often roles written for someone my size are a little flat. I love this about this character that Tom wrote. He has this stuff going on. He has romance. He's got romantic feelings. He's got anger and he's got flaws. I'm not a spokesperson or an activist for people my size. I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that stuff. Comical movies starring dwarves such as Austin Powers films, because people can do what they want to do. Sure, it might perpetuate a stereotype, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I have a grand time at those movies. I was laughing my butt off at those movies, so I'm not going to cast my judgment upon it. For me personally, that's something I try and stay away from. That same year he starred in The Station Agent, Dinklage took another minor role in one of the most iconic Christmas movies of the 21st century, elf. Every Christmas season, little people in Hollywood get the call to play Santa's helpers, but the movie Elf was different. The only actual dwarf who was cast in the film was Peter Dinklage, and he didn't play an elf, but rather as Miles Finch, a successful children's author. The short scene he's in is simple, yet extremely layered. Buddy, the actual elf, who is 6'3", sees a short man and immediately assumes he must secretly be one of Santa's elves. Not a businessman, not a normal person, just a fantasy creature.
Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
You know, we're all laughing our heads off.
Did you have to borrow a reindeer to get down here?
Buddy not treating him like a regular guy represents the exact frustration Dinklage had spent years dealing with in real life. Also, Peter's character in and of itself seems like a protest against the roles that Hollywood usually offers little people. Instead of playing the magical elf, Dinklage plays the man insulted by being mistaken for one, but they still did use his physical stature to make the scene funny. Finch hilariously runs across the table, which seemingly takes him forever, then whips Buddy's ass despite the obvious size disadvantage. And this balance is what made the role feel so representative of Dinklage himself. He never wanted to pretend his dwarfism didn't exist, he just didn't want it to be the only thing people saw when they looked at him. He would take that same approach with his character Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones, which launched Peter into mainstream success, making him a full-blown A-list star. When Dinklage found himself talking to the co-creator of Game of Thrones, David Benioff, he was extremely cautious about taking on a fantasy role, but David had actually met Peter at dinner parties and felt he was the obvious choice for Tyrion Lannister. He was always much friendlier to my wife Amanda than he was to me. I knew he was incredibly funny, incredibly smart, and had that caustic wit. Game of Thrones was a TV adaptation of a book written by George R.R. Martin. It was loosely based on the Wars of the Roses in Britain, with great houses and family rivalries that often led to unexpected deaths of the main characters. Peter Dinklage's character, Tyrion, belonged to the wealthiest house, Lannister, but is usually shunned and mocked by everyone because of his dwarfism. He's also a drunk who relies on his intelligence to survive in a hostile world filled with dragons, monsters, and bloodthirsty kings. All of this fit the emotionally complex kind of character Dinklage enjoyed playing, but he still felt like he had to make sure that they didn't make him into a joke. So in that meeting with Benioff and the other co-creator Dan Weiss, before anyone explained Game of Thrones or Tyrion Lannister to him, he made a simple request: no beard, no pointy shoes. Dwarves in these genres always have this look. My guard was up. Not even my guard, my metal fence. My barbed wire was up. Even Lord of the Rings had dwarf tossing jokes in it. It's like, really? But he learned from Benioff and Weiss that Tyrion was a different kind of fantasy little person. He's somebody who turns that on its head. No beard, no pointy shoes, a romantic, real human being. It was clear that Peter was the perfect choice for Tyrion. He was witty and charming, but he also brought that underlying anger and resentment that he had explored so much in previous roles. Even off-screen, he seemed to take the part very seriously. When asked if he had read the books, he admitted that he'd only read the first in fear it would interfere with his performance in future seasons.
I don't want to know what happens to me down the road. I'm terrified, and I don't want to play any sort of ending when I'm doing the show. And I just live and breathe this show, and
Fucking Game of
I'm so
Thrones.
embarrassed when I have to run you.
Yeah, why'd you have to...
But Dinklage initially believed that the potential success of Game of Thrones was too good to be true.
If something feels that good, it's not gonna work. Nobody's gonna buy this. In the first season, we didn't have any money, truly. I mean, it's all relative. We had some money. But even at the end, if you visit our base camp, our trailers were the same as they were in the first season. It was really, and I think that's what made the spirit of all of us come together so well. And the crew, we roughed it, man. You really would never know. Our salaries got higher as it went along, but the conditions were kind of great, like an indie movie almost. I mean, the sets were extraordinary, and the costumes were extraordinary. That didn't feel indie, but the vibe did, and I think that's what really... but to answer your question, no, I was kind of cynical, like, this is great, and nobody's gonna go for it.
Over the next 4 seasons, his character became the fan favorite of the entire show, which was remarkable considering he lacked almost every traditional advantage fantasy protagonists usually rely on. He wasn't a great warrior, a handsome prince, or a powerful magician, but he used his intelligence to reach high levels of power.
So the one man I did kill early on in the show was about a 70-year-old amputee, so that's not very heroic. And shooting your father on the toilet, again, not very heroic. And somehow people still like the character, so.
Oh.
Peter Dinklage made Tyrion so believable and human that when fans began criticizing the show's writing near season 8, they blamed the writers instead of Dinklage for how the character devolved. Regardless of the way the show eventually ended, which many felt was terrible, Dinklage had finally gained the respect of Hollywood on a massive scale. He received 7 major awards, including an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, and with an estimated $25 million net worth and worldwide recognition, all the gates of Hollywood opened for Peter in a way that they never had for dwarves in the past. He was basically able to
Do it, bitch. Do it. Do it. Do it. You know you want to. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Jump out, bitch. Jump out. Jump out. I'm going to cap you so bad. Do it. Do it. I'm throwing my runaway by doing this. Do it. Do it. Come on, you know you're press W. You know you want to press W into this porta potty. Please, please, please. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I mean, I hurt him pretty bad. Or no, I didn't hurt this guy. Oh, get off. Get off. He thinks I'm going to come back out. I'm not coming back out, you idiot. Do it. Do it. Come on, pop through the porta potty. Come on, do it. Here we go. Oh, what was that? Ah, I'm in the storm. Why? Oh. I thought he was there. I wish he would come in the porta potty. Come in the porta potty, damn it. Five down, 13 up. Ooh, that's good. Did he drop something better than this? Kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is that better? I don't know. I think the shotgun's been pulling more weight right now. Five down, 10 up, top 10. This is gonna take a while.
Pick any career opportunity he wanted. Hosting Saturday Night Live, playing Boulevard Trask in the X-Men franchise, voice acting in the Angry Birds movie.
All of these are terrible. Everything he did, except for whatever the first one was, the Something Station. That was a good movie. All the rest of these, he was a good indie actor. He mentioned indie acting. He was like, this felt like an indie vibe, and you could tell that he's probably really good at indie. But all the mainstream stuff he does, I actually have an active dislike of, which is weird because I like everything. I don't like everything, but I like usually I appreciate most things. This is, how is there 10 people left in this tiny thing? Is that a dude? Yeah, it is a dude. No, that's not a dude. How is there 10 people and I don't see anybody? believe I will use my... I'm gonna keep doing that? Yes, you are. Go! Oh, I guess I'll heal because I can. Annoying. I don't know, buddy. I'm just gonna leave. Oh. Oh! No, it didn't work. Where is this guy? There he is. That's not good. Thank you. Fly, bitch. I don't think I took a shot. Fight each other. Catch me. Just ride a car into safety while these idiots have to like stay stuck there. 6 down, 3 up. 2:37 in the morning. I'm tired. I drove out of town all day today. These guys like make the storm while they have their fight or whatever. We'll see. Oh, look, it's another car. Where are we, bitch? Nice, that sets up. Where are you? Where are you, fucker? Get me, what? Where are you? There he is. Go over that direction. What am I seeing? Could go back to the car. Where's the car from here? Or I blew up a car and got away, huh? Yeah, but it still like got me further. There's this guy. Did he move? Yeah, nope, nope, there he is. What are you? What? Oh no. Is he on the tree? We'll find out. Thought he landed in the tree, but I guess not. Where the fuck are you? I want the one cover that won't break. Yeah. Where the fuck are you? Fuck is this guy? He's like sneaking around down below, maybe? Or that tree, maybe that tree? Oh. I thought I saw something. Where are you, fucker? I can't boot or I'll die. There he is, he made noise. I want to hit him really big. Yep, 86. Get him. Oh yeah! Got his ass! Ending on a win! It was, what was it? It was second place, first place, I think? Yeah, second place, first place. Not bad, not bad. Getting consistent wins these days. If I could get a Fortnite win every day, I might be a happy boy. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to bed. It's 2:40 in the morning. I love you guys. I'm going to stop this recording here with some station identifications. Going to log out here.
Or acting as Eitri in Avengers Infinity War. Now
Infinity War? How many bad fucking movies are you gonna list for his filmography? It just gets worse and worse. You've gone from like a beautiful indie film, what was that, Station something, or The Station Attendant or whatever it was, to like Game of Thrones, to like Adventure War. Oh no.
Now, if Peter wanted to act as a dwarf,
or Adventure, Adventure, Future War, or whatever it is.
it was a choice. I feel really lucky, although I hate that word, lucky. It cheapens a lot of hard work. Living in Brooklyn in an apartment without any heat and paying for dinner at the bodega.
Getting $100 million from Hollywood is luck. It is lucky. I don't care if it downgrades a life. You can make fun of a shoe salesman like they used to do on Married with Children, and those guys work hard all their lives too. You know, I don't really see the difference. You're just somebody who has $100 million. You're lucky. You know, it's not just luck; it's some skill. I don't know. After those movies, are you sure it's skill?
Bodega with dimes. I don't think I felt myself lucky back then. Doing plays for $50 and trying to be true to myself as an artist and turning down commercials where they wanted a leprechaun. Saying I was lucky negates the hard work I put in and spits on the guy who's freezing his ass off back in Brooklyn. So I won't say I'm lucky. I'm fortunate enough.
I think even your stuff is scripted. I don't know. Anyways, let's end on a win. Oh yeah, let's end on a win. Let's end on a win. Bye, bye, bye. End on a win. End on a win. Bye, 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 bye. End on a win. End on a win. End on a win. Bye, bye, bye. Winning on all the games. Oh yeah. So okay, I need to stop this video with a station identification. You've been watching Skycat.live. You've been watching Skycat.live. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Click on the cat space to donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or a follow. And I will be back tomorrow to play some more video games. I did good stuff for my family today. I'm feeling good, like I paid my people bills, and I'm doing my family right by my family. I'm doing right by my career. I'm doing right by my country. I haven't broken a law in like 7 years, and my people and all that. I haven't disgraced any friends lately. I've only just been a good friend, etc. It's good, whatever. And so I love you guys. Thank you so much. It's been a good time. Been doing pretty well, I say. With the blue light, my skin shows these weird tinges. Anyway, so you've been watching Skycat Live. Goodbye. I'm going to stop this recording here with a reminder that I have thousands of videos on my channel, and this is reflected here. Oops, sorry, I'm going to press the button there. I will go upload now. Yes, channel content. There we go. I have thousands of videos on my YouTube channel. Been getting lots of hits and likes and stuff lately. Come check me out. I don't know how my long form gets this much attention, but it does. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. And gonna stop the video and post it to my channel, and then I will stop streaming.